Muy buenas a todos, aquí Recalde nuevamente con un capítulo más de Solito en la Oscuridad. Estamos donde lo dejamos. Pasaron un montón de cosas en el capítulo anterior. Vamos a ver ahora que hemos descubierto un poco acerca del pasado del detective Carnby. A ver si podemos dar con más respuestas aquí en Derceto. Vamos ahora a abrir la caja fuerte de, del psiquiatra. Que es la combinación es 9-13 y ver qué pasa con Grace ahora que sabemos un poco más de la conexión con el pasado de la niña. ¿Está por acá? No, no está por acá.
There's something missing.
No tengo nada. ¿Qué falta España? Ah, no falta España, España está. Ok, veamos la combinación. Emily iba a ir a tratar de entrar al apartamento del man, que es esta zona de acá. ¿Cuál era? Esta. Apartamento del Dr. Gray, así que supongo que esa parte no la exploraremos con este man. Toca mirar en el playthrough de Emily, que seguramente haremos.
I don't have a combination for this.
913. 9 1 3.
It worked.
No me digas. Ya de la oficina del Dr. Gray. La habitación
The last
vacía.
guest in the empty room suffered from severe maladaption. I must write this down, because if I understand the condition sufficiently, it could make me deny this fact at a later date, and there is reason for me to think I may come to suffer the consequences from this dysfunction, as some who came in contact with the guest seemed to adopt a new worldview in which everything was predetermined but broken. Upon accepting this worldview, some memories became unmanageable and later rejected. I do not know what this means. I cannot even remember the fate of the guest. I think they were simply misplaced one day and forgotten. Just like all documents pertaining to this guest, they have all been destroyed, or they never existed in the first place. Who wrote this? There has never been a guest in the empty room.
Carnby had run their car off the bridge. He pulled Grace out of the sea.
Dr. Gray's office, all to myself. Let's see if we can figure this guy out.
I have finished tidying up Miss Beauregard's belongings. I will leave it to you to contact her agent and have them collect her things. I found one of Grace's drawings she might want back, along with this key in her room, which I believe you've been looking for, Mrs. Thompson.
Francia. Ya. Parte que nos faltaba. Llave de las escaleras. Oh, es que van hacia abajo del todo. Verga, enfermería, laboratorio, quirófano, cuarentena. Se ve bastante creepy.
Dearest Dr. Manzetti, I find myself in a losing battle with my patient. As I've disclosed in my previous letter, his delusions have him completely captured. It's bad enough that he is torturing himself with paranoia, but his madness turns out to be quite persuasive to others. effectively laying the ground for mass delusion. I am writing to you in hope that you can give me some guidance. Beyond my ambition to avoid devastating surgery on my patient, I have grown worried about my own defenses. The words of my patient are deranged, yet they often resonate with something primitive within me. I have tried photographing his brain with X-rays. It was surprisingly difficult to get good results. Dark blotches on the plates kept obscuring all details. My patient looked at the bad plates and cried out in terror, telling me the dark areas was the shadow of the worm, eating him from inside. I could not see anything out of the ordinary. I hope this is a sign that my mind is not as receptive to the madness as I had feared. After further inquiry, my patient described the shadows inside his mind as some kind of chthonic monstrosity that wants to undermine his sanctuary. This is clearly a reference to a place he calls Teroea, a sort of library or convent that works as a psychological haven. With this imaginary haven threatened by this Chthonian, he has now constructed another, less pleasant hiding spot. Lately, he has been bringing up a metaphor of a steamboat that has run aground, that he feels like he needs to start the engines and reverse, but he is afraid that the hole in the hull would cause the whole ship to sink. I've been watching him turn this metaphor into reality for the last week. He knows it's made up, but he is doubling down, trying to make it a real memory. I feel certain that this is my chance to break through the barriers of his self-deceit.
Oh. Tesoro pirata de McCarthy.
This is where McCarthy has hidden my favorite young. It's very important.
Eso es lo que ya encontramos. What the fuck? Fuck. Pero qué putas. Verga.
I can't take this much more. This has to end.
Edward had heard the whispers for years. When he lived in Brooklyn, it was only on rare occasions, like when he as a child climbed that tall tree in Central Park, or when he almost drowned in the Hudson River, trying to save his despaired mother. The whispers became more common as he moved to New Orleans, but still rare enough to be ignored. Now as he walks the halls of Derceto, he knows what is calling him. He doesn't want to admit it, but the dark young in the conservatory is telling him to sacrifice the Cabri San Corn.
The fuck? Cierto. Vamos a la habitación de Grace primero. O bueno, no la habitación donde estaba el globo terráqueo. Eso es en el piso de arriba. ¿No? Haz una ofrenda en el árbol de los susurros. Mapa del Caribe. Eso de la ofrenda. ¿Qué se referirá? ¿Será que...? Ah. Sala principal. Será el árbol que hay allá en el invernadero. Se referirá con una ofrenda. Está cerrado. Ese sótano todo vuelto popo.
This doesn't look good.
Ajá. Chivo expiatorio, quiero que ver. El doctor ese será de la secta esa que decían. Al menos si puedo abrir. Puta madre.
Jeremy, look the other way. Look into the woods and tell me what you see. What do you see, Jeremy?
I can see the dark heart of the bayou. It is surrounded.
By what, Jeremy?
Dark young. 1,000 young. You're all right, Jeremy. Don't you worry about that.
You have to keep looking, Jeremy.
Let him be, Lonnie.
We have to know Baptiste. We've worked so hard. What can you tell us, Jeremy? Please give us something.
I need the key.
Voice.
What do you hear,
Lo tienen.
Jeremy? Whispering. A child.
Young. Them. Breeze. Mother.
Tell us what they are saying. What are they saying, Jeremy?
Ever the praises. Abundant.
Ahora, fotografía número 1. Captura parcial de un cerebro donde reina una inquietante oscuridad.
take pity on us. This is some messed up stuff. Shut the garage. The black goat of the woods with 1,000 yards.
What the fuck? ¿En el quirófano? Fuck. ¿Qué le estaban haciendo?
Radiography. Patient Jeremy Hartwood. Date June 14, 1930. Plates. Jeremy's skull proved difficult to capture properly. Partial radiographs worked best. A complete picture of the brain can be assembled by piecing 3 plates together. Observations. Even when looking at an assembled version, a shadow covers significant parts of Jeremy's brain. Possible tumor, but more likely that the equipment is failing. Jeremy reacted strongly to the pictures and claimed to see a giant clay worm eating and displacing his memories. Notes. While this exercise has left me nowhere closer to an answer, I feel confident that a Burkhardt lobotomy should sever all necessary parts.
Verga.
Hypothetical psychosurgery based on the ideas by Burkhardt and the St. Petersburg research could end up saving Jeremy's mind. Severing the connections around the frontal lobe would certainly solve most mental afflictions. The procedure would be brutal in performance, as well as in efficiency. An ice pick pushed through the edge of the eye and into the skull would untether the nerves like Alexander cutting the Gordian knot. As this would likely leave Jeremy in a very different condition, all other paths should first be explored. The medical instrument I would need for this lobotomy is missing, and I should have Waits order a new one.
Sí, el eléctrico.
Look down the way. Look into the woods and tell me what you see.
Fotografía número 2.
What do you see, Jeremy?
Ya ve el quirófano.
The doggone
A salvar a Jeremy.
surrounded.
By what, Jeremy?
Doctor, 1,000 yards.
You're all right, Jeremy. Don't you worry about that.
You have to keep looking, Jeremy.
Let him be, Lonnie.
We have to know that he's... We've worked so hard. What they are saying. What are they saying?
No, no puedo
Give the
grabación.
praises and abundance to the black goat of the woods. Hear us, Mother, and take pity on us.
What else, Jeremy?
Accept our sacrifice and judge our work. Yeah, yeah.
Verga.
Don't mind if I do.
Oops. Venga acá.
That's better.
La oscuridad de Jeremy. Un trozo de arcilla roto y chamuscado. Su tamaño indica que formaba parte de una estatua. Y supongo que esa es la ofrenda. Oh, fuck. What?
Why does this keep happening? What am I supposed to do?
Corra, marica, corra. ¿Para qué nos inundamos? Ay, verga.
Oh.
And we're back here. Perfect time to have a look around this place.
Oh, mira. El ático. Fragmento teselado. No, yo conmigo. Oscuridad de Jeremy.
What is that?
Okay. De 641. Okay.
This is where Jeremy's hiding, right?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jeremy?
I need help!
Wait. Can you hear me?
I'm stuck in the mud and the fire is taking
Jeremy.
me.
Where are you?
The motor is dead. I can't do anything more.
Hang on, Jeremy. I'll figure something out. I'll get the boat running.
What?
Jeremy was calling out for help, but Carnby couldn't figure out where the voice was coming from. For a moment, Carnby wondered if the boat itself was Jeremy, or if he was below it somehow. It didn't matter right now. Jeremy was clear on one thing. He wanted Carnby to get the steamboat running and out of the mud. Carnby entered some new mucky dreamland of Jeremy's, a long-abandoned steamboat aground in the bayou.
Un barco de vapor.
The boat's wedged itself right into the bayou. If I get the motor started, I could try reversing back into the river.
Pero eso está vuelto mierda. Máscara pálida.
The artist spent a lot of time boating on the vast Lake Pontchartrain. Poetry, painting, photography. Everything seemed to become better by the shimmering water and the opalescent sky. One night, as the sailors returned to Derceto, they found a masquerade ball taking place. It must have been Perosi and Nora who invited their friends from the theater. The sailors quickly fashioned masks out of plaster of Paris and joined the festivities. They enjoyed themselves for hours before realizing time was not passing, nor could they find their friends. As they began to worry, they demanded that the guests unmasked, but they could not, because they were not wearing any masks.
The fuck?
Jeremy, where are you?
There are many ways to cross a threshold. The easiest one is being invited. A door swung open, leading you inside. Another is sleep, hypnosis, or even sudden fright. There are those who fold spaces that challenge Mobius, or jump through angles that defy Euclid. If you learn to properly use your talisman, you could go anywhere. You wouldn't even need to rely on the fluttering wings of the shrieking Biakis.
Abajo, huevón.
This definitely needs fuel.
acércate. ¡Vaya! What the fuck? ¿Dónde está? Fuck. ¿De dónde? Ah.
Bullets.
No me digas. Espérame. Hacer algo acá. Tengo más healing.
Are you ready to tell me what happened in the attic? I put a rope around my neck, and then I strangled all life from my body. Are you under the impression that you died? Yes. No. I was supposed to die.
What does that mean? That you were supposed to die?
I'm the catalyst. I had to die to make the story happen.
What story? What are you referring to, Jeremy?
30 years ago, Frederic needed me to die.
You're not making any sense, Jeremy. Come back. Find your focus.
Hey! I cheated everyone. I didn't play my part. Hey! I escaped my doom. My destiny.
Again, find your focus.
Hey, I'm right here. What the hell is going on?
Now everything is wrong. Nothing is in place.
I'm right here!
Calm down, Mr. Carnby. What do you want?
Were you not talking to Jeremy right now?
I haven't seen Jeremy all day. Are you all right, Detective?
No. Actually, I don't think so. Well, maybe. I'm gonna go look for Jeremy.
Good. Let me know if you find him.
That was Jeremy's self-deceit, a steamboat stuck in the mud? I'm not going to pretend I understand any of that. What a bunch of psychoanalytic nonsense.
De acuerdo, amiguis.
Jeremy.
Wait.
Carnby entered some new mucky dreamland of Jeremy. Carnby never thought he...
What? Mierda tan rara. Todavía tengo el objetivo este de que hace una ofrenda en el árbol de los susurros, pero hazle una visita al Dr. Gray en su piso. Ok.
Jeremy was calling out for...
Modera el comportamiento maníaco. Hazle una visita al Dr. Gray en su piso. Ok. Apartamento del Dr. Gray. Ok. Estamos abajo. Sería subir un piso, ¿no? Por la escalera de servicio. Está el apartamento de recepción. Ok.
Jeremy was called...
¿Puedo ir de aquí directamente? Y por acá. Ok. Uy, no me abra la puerta así con la... No molestar. Lol.
Detective, am I glad to see you. Lock the door, will you? I don't think Dr. Gray would appreciate us snooping around.
What's going on here? This feels so strange.
Detective Carnby felt removed from himself, like driving drunk. He carefully tried to navigate his environment. What the hell was going on? Was he finally losing his mind? At least Emily was here to call the police if he went off the deep end.
Libro falso. Libro hueco.
There's a book missing.
Have you found anything?
What? Yeah, I've seen some things.
Okay, let me know if there's anything you want to talk about.
You don't find this place
strange?
Derceto is certainly one of the stranger places I've been to.
Eso es todo.
This room feels too real, hyper real, more than anything I've ever experienced.
Okay. I don't see what you mean.
Forget it. I gotta get back to breaking the contract. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
What?
What did you do?
I was just rearranging the books.
Well, come on, let's check it out. I think I'm beginning to understand. Dr. Gray is dealing with some kind of mass delusion.
Good to finally meet you, Mr. Hartwood. I'm here on the behalf of your brother Philip. You were expecting me, weren't you?
Yes. You're from Derceto, no?
That's right. I just wanted to ask you a few questions to see if there is anything I can do to help you and your family.
Okay.
I understand you're full of imagination. You make up a lot of things.
I suppose.
And you obsess over them, blurring reality and fiction.
Sometimes.
Do you want to tell me about the Dark Man?
No, I don't.
That's all right. Perhaps there is something else you can tell me. Something you know to be made up, but you hold dear.
Juan?
John? Who's John?
No, Juan Luis Jorge. Oh, wait there a moment. Here, take a look.
Is he... Oh, he is the author.
It's a magnificent book. Life-changing even. The real Juan is long dead, but I like to think of him as my friend. My most beloved friend.
I see. Do you often do this? Fantasize about people you read about?
No. Well, there is Jacob.
Who is Jacob?
Turn to the last page.
Oh, it's a newspaper article. The Prisoner of Ice, Jacob van Ostad. Is he also your beloved friend?
Oh, no, Doctor. Not at all. He is the fire that fights fire.
Yes, I think it's clear your overstimulated imagination, this mania, needs to be tempered for you to live a normal life. I know your family calls it the Hartwood curse, but I want you to know that there is nothing supernatural about your condition. It's all inside your head. And with that, I'm very qualified to deal with. In time, you will be cured.
In time.
Yes, in time we will exorcise all your demons, all the dark men.
Yeah!
Please, Mr. Hartwood, calm yourself.
What happened?
Oh, don't you worry your little head about it, Miss Hartwood. Your uncle and I just had our first breakthrough.
What were you saying about mass delusion?
Derceto seems to have a deranging effect on people living close by. It has a history of creating cults devoted to some nature goddess. Even the name Derceto refers to the cult existing here before the Civil War. Derceto was the name of an ancient fertility goddess worshipped in Syria. Dr. Gray and his friends, however, seem to prefer the black goat of the woods with 1,000 young, or Shub-Nigroth. And that name can only have come from my uncle's twisted mind.
You think all of them are in this cult business? Even Jeremy?
I'm not sure any of them have a choice at this point. We just need to find a way to stop all of this.
Aquí está el talismán en el suelo.
I've been so busy trying to free your uncle from the promise he made to the Dark Man. I guess I kind of just let everything else go.
Don't worry, Detective. I feel like we're close. I'm sure Jeremy will turn up. If he is part of the cult, he wouldn't want to miss the Feast of St. John. I just need enough information to make him see the truth.
I hope you're right, but I doubt he'll show up. Not as long as the Dark Man's got him hiding.
La vieja sabe más de lo de banquete San Juan.
That mark on the floor looks like talisman positions, but from which direction should I look at it?
The Snake Dagger, a monograph by Yael Klein. In Ludwig Prin's book on pagan rituals called The Mystery of the Grave, as translated by Nicholas Vachy, there are several references to a sacrificial dagger called the Snake Dagger. It has long been thought of as a poor translation of the original text, that it would be more appropriate with worm dagger from the Latin vermis cultrum. This seems natural following the recent consensus that the original title of Prin's book, De Vermis Mysteris, should literally translate to the mystery of the worm. However, this would take away from Vachy's great effort at translating the underlying meaning of the words and revealing several cultural beliefs. While Prin certainly was using the term worm as a symbol or synecdoche for death and the dead, which is made clear by the contents of the book, in the case of the dagger, we shouldn't be too hasty to dismiss his translation. Reading through Vachy's correspondence with his patron, it appears that he had more than just the Latin text at his disposal. Vachy had dug up Prin's living relatives and uncovered several cross-referenced historical texts and an actual snake dagger. The dagger was dated to the early Middle Kingdom of Egypt and had such a clear shape of a wave that Vachy considered calling it the sinusoidal blade. Knowing the full story, it seems prudent that he chose to translate it as snake and not worm. There are several reasons why this choice of word helps us understand the pagans that Prin's book attempts to describe. The symbolic value of the shape becomes more apparent when reading about the use for the dagger. In the passage of possession and exorcism, we find the snake dagger poisons the poisoner within the victim and is therefore pacified. Where the literal text would tell us that the worm dagger trumps the demon possessing the victim, it tells us nothing of their reasoning, only that somehow this dagger wins against the demon, like it had the better hand in poker. Vachy's translation allows us to follow the underlying logic to the ritual magic that is being performed. Poison the poisoner sounds like fighting fire with fire. That to hurt the demon possessing its victim, the priests would have to fight back with a power that is known to the evil they are fighting. The snake dagger is therefore not only a good way to describe its form, but it also helps us understand how it could be thought of as a useful tool for exorcism. Finally, it also helps us understand their relationship to lunacy, that it was thought of as something poisoning the mind rather than controlling it. What is also interesting to note is that the possessed are always considered poisoned in their head and not their heart. The snake dagger always went to the eye of the possessed, leaving them partially blind, if they had the good luck to survive.
Llave del mueble.
Huh. Has that been there this whole time? Hello?
Detective Carnby?
Who is this? Jeremy?
Jeremy is with the Dark Man. You can't save him.
Well, I've done everything you wanted so far, and there's just one more thing on the list. I expect him to keep his promise and return Jeremy unharmed.
Get out, Detective, while you still can.
You okay? You look a little frazzled.
Just stupid telephone.
I know. I tried calling the police earlier. The telephone is completely dead.
It's not... Yeah, no, the telephone isn't working.
Detective Carnby was worried Emily could tell, that she could see the madness written on his face. But what if he was the only one seeing the truth? Could that still be the case? If only he could find evidence that would make her understand that he had seen beyond the veil, or at least something that would show her he was worth the money she was paying him.
Miss Hartwood, I think you're gonna want to see this.
Is there something in the closet?
Yeah, there is. You don't see the very obvious gate leading to whatever Jeremy's madness is serving up next?
I don't understand. Are you making some kind of fashion metaphor? I'm sorry, I don't have time for this. Can you just tell me what you're doing?
You don't see this! It's fine. It's fine. Catch you later.
Are you going inside the closet?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
No. Do what you think is right, Detective.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Goodbye, Miss Hartwood.
Hay que hacer el playthrough con Emily.
Disheartened by his failure to make Emily understand what he was doing, Detective Carnby actually felt better seeing the frozen hell before him. There was a finality to it. Its clear symbolic opposite to the Dark Man's desert made him realize this was the end. Soon it would all be over.
What? Una pistola de bengalas. Pues.
What can be said about Jacob van Ostad without evoking contempt or apologia? The first piece of information is the obvious. He is not the explorer Jeremy idolized in his youth, but the figment of his imagination. If you want biographical facts, I am not the one to answer such questions. In the case of Jeremy, he is a guardian of imagination, or rather a persona appointed the role of containing a self-sabotaging mania. However useful Jacob once was, his loyalty to Jeremy has slowly been replaced by fanaticism. Like a firekeeper who has for decades been burnt by his own sacred flames, now does what he imagines the fire wants. Jeremy has lost all control over Jacob and suffers greatly because of him, but is admittedly also still invigorated by his labor. In the plainest of words, Jacob keeps Jeremy sick so he can remain Jeremy.
What?
We found the ancient stellarium perched on a cliff facing the Arctic Ocean after a day of sailing due north of the Eskimo encampment. Jacob van Oostad was our most keen member of the expedition. He had been chasing down the source of a peculiar type of crystallized metal present in several sacred items among the natives on the northeast coast of Greenland. The site was a remarkable find for any explorer, and we were all enraptured in our search for enlightenment and meaning. The surviving architecture seemed almost unearthly in origin and astonishingly sophisticated. The metal Jacob was searching for was abundant, almost ubiquitous. We were so taken by our find that we were surprised by the sun falling below the horizon. As we quickly picked up our gear, ready to head back to our camp, Jacob van Oostad declared that he wanted to stay. He was adamant. We begged him to reconsider. The night would be getting colder by the hour, and we feared for all our safety. Jacob refused, threatening us with violence if we wouldn't leave him alone. As the snowfall turned heavier, we left him there on his own. The next day the weather became worse, and we had to spend hours enforcing our shelter as our tents became increasingly useless. The group had written off Jacob, thinking he must be dead. I had an urge to make one final attempt to save him, so I headed out as darkness fell with a handful of flares and headed toward the coast and up the climb towards the stellarium. That's when I saw him, transfixed by a burning sky, that celestial lantern. Jacob keeled over and let out a painful shriek that struck me with such fear and pity. He was crying in agony, for the cold weather had ravaged his flesh. I called out to him, and he turned to face me. His vacant stare held me in place like a needle through a butterfly, and he said, "You must leave now, Herstan. Go, and never come back." And so I left.
What? Parece chévere.
Hey, you! What are you doing here? What is this place?
Turn back, detective. You're not wanted here.
Whoa, take it easy. I'm not your enemy.
Oh, you're wrong, detective. You're wrong.
What? Ah, se van las demás. Ay, ay, ay. Eso. Y aquí.
Of course, the Taurus. I figured you wouldn't want your stars aligned, Jeremy, or maybe that is what you need to temper that mania of yours. What the fuck?
God, stay dead, will you?
Oh, es el primer enemigo que tengo en la vida. ¡Qué hijo de puta! Otra vez a Derceto.
Jeremy?
Lobotomia.
I did everything! Aren't you happy? Stupid charlatan! What more do you want from me? You want me to lose my mind?
Oh, my lord! Doctor! Baptiste!
Jesus. What were you thinking, Carnby?
What the fuck?
You awake? You are awake. Mr. Carnby's up.
Hey, buddy! I thought you'd be knocked out for the rest of the night. Come on out and join us, will you? I'll save you some gumbo.
Good to have you back. You gave us all a good scare.
What happened?
You had a psychological breakdown. Sorry for manhandling you, but you were being violent, you see.
You stabbed Jeremy and then punched Dr. Gray.
Are they okay?
Jeremy's a little strange, but everything's back to normal.
Really?
All thanks to you, Carnby. You want to try standing up?
Well, if it isn't the hero of the day. How are you feeling, Detective?
Never better. How about you two? Hey, Jeremy, I didn't do too much damage, did I?
Things are fine. Very quiet.
What's up with him? Painkillers?
No. You see, despite you having the finesse of a one-eyed butcher, you managed to lobotomize dear Jeremy.
I did what?
It's actually quite impressive. It's not like I hadn't considered it myself. I just wish Jeremy could have been helped without reducing his personality to that of an oyster.
But he's gonna live.
Of course. As long as someone keeps feeding him, he'll outlive the best of us.
What? The fuck? Demasiado para digerir. Creo que lo vamos a dejar hasta acá. Lobotomizamos a Jeremy. Al parecer le estábamos cascando al Dr. Gray, que era el hombre oscuro. Ok. Veamos qué pasa. Supuestamente volvió todo a la normalidad. Hay que ver qué pasó con Emily. Hay que ver qué pasa con... Creo que este ya sería el último capítulo. Después de esa pelea con ese jefe. Así que lo vamos a dejar por acá. Está bastante raro, pero interesante este final. Vamos a ver cómo le damos sentido a todo esto. Así que nos vemos en el próximo capítulo. Hasta la próxima. Chao.